4 minutes past the hour, and two things before we go on. Number one, my beloved Jody, my beautiful wife, has the best phrase of all time for all you married men. You may know everything, but I'm always right. Ladies, expect a t-shirt coming soon. And secondly, and most importantly, well, not most importantly, because Jody takes precedence. Secondly, Bradley Beal, you a bitch. Let's go.
Can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Cause we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Oh, yeah! Let's go! Good morning! Welcome to the Minnesota Timberwolves Manic Monday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have you all with us. And we welcome a new audience, the folks from the Worldwide Sports Radio Network based out of New York, joining us as well. I got the big dog Shane Lake with me. How are you, my friend?
Oh, you know how it is. Busy as always. I just literally popped over from Genevieve Yoso's stream to get over here. Had to open that party up, and now I'm ready to lock and load.
You told me something in a quick pre-show that we had, because I was running late getting home from the doctor this morning, that a nuke hit your Twitter that I might appreciate. Lay it on me.
Well, with the soon-to-be opening of the Dog's Garage, and expect that on a T-shirt at some point soon. We've just ironed that detail out. I have been in talks with a former NASCAR Busch Series champion to come on the show and hang out with us for a while.
I'm with it.
And I'm talking, he also drove in the Cup Series for guys like Richard Petty, Richard Childress, and Dale Earnhardt. I'm talking the 2000 champion, Jeff Green.
Love it. Jeff, come on down. We'd love to have you. All right. RC is with us. He's the first in the chat. He said, it's time for you to put some respect on my Timberwolves and my Pacers. By the way, love the show as always. Thank you, RC. I'll put some respect on the Timberwolves if they make the Western Conference Finals. They get the winner. Who do they get the winner? They get the winner of the. They get the Nuggets next.
Yes, they do.
They get the Nuggets next.
Yeah, because we
And
know there's no chance LA comes back.
Ain't no
from this hole.
way. Ain't no way the Lakers are gonna come out of this hole. They got lucky Saturday night.
Yeah, they did.
That folks want to say, well, they won. They won by 11. You caught Denver on an off night. You caught Denver on an off night.
Pretty much.
Man, more NBA talk in a moment. We'll do a little NHL playoff update. Ryan McCoffey will join us because he had a busy sports weekend. And then we'll hand out some draft grades for the NFC East at the top of hour 2. In the middle, we'll do the AFC East, and then we'll wrap it up with some Spivey notes. So 120 minutes. We're getting it all together, and we're going to stay here at this time up until Labor Day when we make the giant shift to the morning. Speaking of shift, let me shout out my buddy Cole Johnson for his inaugural episode of the morning shift. Cole, it was fabulous. It was, pardon us while we stand and applaud for you, my man. Oh, man. Love it. Love every minute of it. And by the way, that show will be replayed on my network. Just putting it out there.
We got a lot we're doing around here, folks. Stay tuned.
Especially as we head into season 11. Back to business. Dear Los Angeles Clippers, you got lucky.
Yeah, they did.
Because they blew a 31-point lead. Can we just throw that whole series away?
We could, but yet again, Jimmy Kimmel and all them wouldn't have anything that's satire about for the NBA playoffs.
Oh, they don't know what they're doing. We do.
Yeah, I'm just saying at this point, the Clippers series is nothing more than a joke.
That's all it is. That whole damn series is nothing but a joke. And I bet you it takes the full 7 games to decide it.
That really wouldn't surprise me.
But I don't care. I don't care. Okay? The Clippers got lucky. The Mavericks have Kyrie Irving. What is wrong with those pictures?
Everything.
The Clippers got lucky. And I'll say it again. The Clippers got lucky. The Mavericks have Kyrie Irving. What is wrong with those pictures?
Everything. Absolutely everything. That's the only way to put it.
Because Dallas should have put that away after coming back from 31 down.
Yeah, because LA just kept taking their foot off the throttle. Dallas should have just rammed it down their throats, but they didn't.
But here's where the narratives come into play. And you know this narrative to be true. They're going to say, oh, well, the Clippers won without Kawhi. You choked away a 31-point lead, you dumbasses.
Oh, James Harden had a great game. You still choked away 31 points.
If people can make fun of the Clippers coming back from 31 down in 2019 against the Golden State Warriors in Game 2 in Oakland, then doggone it, we can put a mirror in front of their face for choking away a 31-point lead. Yes, they won 116-111, but they choked a 31-point lead. Genevieve Yoso is in the house with us. Genevieve, what's up? Good to have you here.
That's where I came from the stream. Make sure you guys check her out on Twitch, by the way.
Please do. And we're on Twitch. We're on Twitch as well. We're bringing something to Twitch that, a lot of people don't normally see. Now,
we got a lot in the works here, guys. Stay with us, trust me.
Stay with us, indeed. Now, back to business. Y'all choked away, and I'm talking to the Clippers, a 31-point lead. I'll say it again. Yes, you won without Kawhi. Yes, you won 116-111, but a 31-point lead against a fully healthy Dallas Mavericks squad. I wouldn't be surprised if this series goes the full 7 games.
At least they'd have basketball out in Los Angeles after the Lakers get eliminated.
Oh yeah, and they're going to get smacked tonight. More on that later. Then you have the case of the Phoenix Suns.
You mean the Shadow Realm of the West?
I said it to you and Victor in a text last night. The Phoenix Suns have become the Brooklyn mess of the West. Period. And Bradley Beal, I stand by my statement. You a bitch.
How does this happen for Phoenix with the weaponry they have?
If I'm allowed to speak freely, the only weapon they had was Kevin Durant.
Yeah, he can't do everything, unfortunately.
Yeah, Brooklyn found that out the hard way.
How do you how does it happen when you have Devin Booker dropping 49 and Durant dropping 33? You still fall that hard to the Timberwolves?
And they led in that game. They led in that game.
Yeah, they led after the half, and then they just fell off the planet.
They fell off the face of the earth. 122 to 116 is the final there. I'll tell you what happened. 34 points in the third quarter, 32 in the fourth quarter. That's what happened. The Suns got outscored 66 to 55 in the second half. That's what happened. A team faced the Phoenix Suns and blew them to smithereens. That's what happened.
And they were up by 5 at the half.
Mm-hmm.
The only things that the T-Wolves did better was 3-point range and rebounding. Everything else was relatively similar.
You just said the key thing. Rebounding. The Suns have none. They have no players who can rebound the ball.
Well, there was a 11 rebound advantage for the Wolves on the stat sheet.
Except for Kevin Durant. And I'll keep saying it. Except for Kevin Durant, this is a ragtag bunch that needs to be blown to smithereens and rebuilt. Period.
No faith in Devin Booker?
None. N-U-N-N. None. I have no faith in Devin Booker. I never had any faith in Devin Booker. Even when the Suns reached the finals in 2021, it wasn't because of Devin Booker. It was because of Chris Paul.
Yeah, and where's he playing now?
Golden State, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, well, I think Chris Paul's time in the NBA is coming up to an end.
Mm-hmm. He'll be entering his 20th season next year. But back to the Suns. And Ryan McCarthy just said it best. Rebounding in today's NBA is a dirty word. And yet, not only did the Wolves rebound well, so did the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, they did.
So did the Indiana Pacers. Oh, and by the way, Doc Rivers, Milwaukee Bucks, you're done for. You're done. 126 to 113 was that final score.
And
Game 5 is Thursday, and they're waiting. We're waiting on a time. We're waiting on a time for that.
I'll probably be about 8 or 9 o'clock because
Yeah.
they'll probably want to get it to be the first game. Again, with the Pacers, 3 points for 3-point field goals differential, 51% compared to 36 for the Bucks. Rebounding was relatively similar. Steals were identical. They had 2 more blocks and 2 less turnovers.
51% from 3-point range for Indiana. And I had a chance to see them in person. All right. This team can shoot the ball. These guys can shoot the ball. Not to mention, there's a fellow named Tyrese Halliburton who
Is
I'm
lights
just
out.
all kinds of giddy about. All right. Excuse me. I'll say it again. Milwaukee, you were 30-11 with Adrian Griffin as your coach. Why'd you let him go?
They're idiots, plain and simple.
Mm-hmm. And then you bring in Doc Rivers. What? Miles Turner at 29. Where's Halliburton? Halliburton had 24. Pascal Siakam had 13. Aaron Nesmith had 13. Andrew Nembhard, keep your eye on Andrew Nembhard. Keep your eye on that player. He finished with 15, and then Obi Toppin, former Knick, had 13 off the bench. This is going to be a Knicks Pacers series in the second round. Oh boy. 1995, anyone? Damn.
And you know what all the Bucks fans are going to say if the Pacers do end up taking this series.
Which
we didn't have Giannis. Oh, Dame didn't play all the time.
And you lost Chris Middleton for a while.
Yep.
And you lost Chris Middleton for a while. You play the cards you've been dealt. You are the number 3 seed, and you're getting your ass kicked by the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, Middleton's at least going to be out for a game or two for the bull crap he pulled.
Well, like I said, I saw this team, the Indiana Pacers, in person. This team can shoot the ball. Okay? This team can shoot the ball. And finally, what's up, Victor? Victor joining us. He'll be with us on he'll be back with us on Wednesday.
Vicala!
Yes. Now to the game I loved watching. The Philadelphia 76ers
getting their butts kicked.
Trailed by 10 at the end of one. Knocked it down to a 2-point game at the half. 49-47. And then took over in the second half. The Sixers are finished. They got to go back to MSG. They got to go back to MSG and try it again. The Sixers were led by Joel Embiid. He had 27 points and 10 rebounds. Tyrese Maxey had 23. Kelly Oubre had 19. But the player that the Sixers need to get rid of is Tobias Harris. And JJ said it. JJ has said it all the time. Where is Tobias Harris when you need him? You missed out on Jimmy Butler to pay Tobias Harris. And for what?
Sounds like Tobias is pulling his best John Cena act.
Mm-hmm. You can't see him.
And again, looking over the stat sheets, Knicks hit 43% from the field. Neither team was exactly lights out from deep last night. Free throw percentage went in Sixers' favor, 86% compared to 62%, but where it counted most, 52 boards for the Knicks compared to 42 for the Sixers. 11
rebounds.
That they were. 11 blocks compared to 5 for the Sixers. And again, that's where you end up making the hay when the sun shines, in the paint.
Offensive rebounds. It's a dirty word in the NBA, as Ryan said, but I love seeing the team rebound. I love seeing a team that can rebound the basketball and either get your team extra possessions or start a possession. This is where the Knicks have kicked the Sixers' ass all series. Except for game 3, this is where the Knicks have made their hay. This is where they kick the Sixers' ass.
Exactly.
Period.
It's those second chance opportunities. And that's one thing Philadelphia doesn't have. screw you, Joel Embiid. You ain't exactly playing like somebody who belongs in the paint. Philadelphia has no one in the paint to help.
And the sad part is they never will. Because I think Joel Embiid is gone after this year.
And like I've said, who's going to take him?
If I was a GM of a team, I certainly wouldn't. And I'll say it again. He has the physical tools, and even those are starting to wane with all the injuries. He ain't got it up here between the ears. And until he gets that, he'll never be the complete package that people make him out to be.
And he's played like this for 10 years in the NBA. At this point, he may be truly uncoachable.
And he hasn't figured it out.
Nope.
That's the problem. He has not figured it out. And I don't think he ever will figure it out. Let's take a pause for the cause. And when we come back, we'll again welcome the folks from the Worldwide Sports Radio Network checking us out. When we get back, I'm putting no respect on the Dallas Stars name. And a legend of women's basketball has called it a career. That and a whole lot more. Snowman in the Morning, back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus. Smarter than energy.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brooks Night Guard. Now, the Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to brooksnightguard.com and order yours today.
Hey everyone, I'm joined by my old friend, Mr. Ellis Williams, AKA Mr. Biggs. You called me and you told me, you said, man, I got CarShield and it worked. What made you get it?
I have this old SUV and I know the manufacturer warranty is about to run out. I don't want to get stuck with expensive car repairs.
Right.
So I gave CarShield a call. Coverage was very affordable and there was no long-term contract. A few months after that, transmission went on my car. I took it to my mechanic, they called CarShield and saved my family and I $2,400.
CarShield is America's #1 auto protection company. Their administrators have paid out over $1 billion in claims and cover most vehicles from 5,000 to 150,000 miles. You'll receive 24/7 roadside assistance, courtesy towing, rental reimbursement at no additional charge.
Give CarShield a call today before it's too late. Remember,
CarShield cars go farther.
Protect yourself now against expensive auto repair bills. Call 800-513-9263.
We were always hippies at heart, I guess, and that was one way that we showed it before we became full-time RVers.
And we were definitely living small and minimally.
What made us decide to go with Battleborn was everyone from their top leadership team down to their service department helped us so much the whole way through. Our relationship with Battleborn is so much more than business. And me and Dennis love to jam together. We played together multiple times, and that's been an awesome transition. Be able to learn so much more about the business. Also, just make some awesome friends.
Alicia.
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika.
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole.
A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan.
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street, y'all done had problems. Maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
What's your emergency, please?
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light optimizing lenses that block blue rays so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, W-I-Z-E. Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast.
So, Snowman's been asked, who's the face of the NBA? The face of the NBA has been residing in the Bay since he got here. And his name is Wardell Stephen Curry, the only unanimous MVP in NBA history. Take that.
Oh, yeah! Welcome back to Snowman in the Morning.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Welcome back to the Monday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us. This portion is brought to you in part by BetUS.com. The NBA playoffs are underway. Major League Baseball is here. And, of course, you have the NHL playoffs. And maybe some college sports are still going on. You want to get in on the good action? You need to go to BetUS.com. Use the code Snowman, and you get a 125% deposit match on your deposit. Log on to BETUS.com or call 800-792-3887. That's 800-79-BET-US. BetUS.com, where the game begins. Welcome to those of you on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Welcome to those of you on WLEO 26.7 FM. And a big welcome to those of you listening on WJKS Digital Broadcasting. I'm the Snowman. That's the big dog. And
what up?
Let's see. Where do we go? Where do we go next? We got a few minutes before McCoffee gets here, and I'm going to spend it paying tribute to someone I had a chance to watch for her whole career, and her name is Candace Parker. Candace Parker, at age 38, has decided to hang it up and call it a career. Candace, you done me proud. I had a chance to watch you from your days at Naperville Central to your days at the University of Tennessee under the legendary coach the late Pat Summitt. And man,
she could ball.
Man, Candace Parker was one of the greatest. I'm not ashamed to say it.
You're not wrong.
Candace Parker was one of the greatest, men or women, to play this game. I'm so happy that she came home to Chicago in 2021 and got her WNBA championship with the Sky. I had tears of joy in my eyes when I saw that happen.
That was a fitting way to put the career on ice, to be honest.
She got another championship with the Las Vegas Aces. I mean, she's a 4-time champion, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
I think she's a 4-time champion. I believe I have that right. She may have I think either 3 or 4. 4. Because you got 2 with the Sparks, 1 with the Sky, and 1 with the Aces. So I believe it's 4. Shane will confirm that for me. But man, Candace, you were one of the people in my many years of watching women's basketball that made it fun for me to cover. I saw you put boys to shame in a slam dunk contest live. I saw the entire ballyhoo when you, my dear, were getting recruited, and when you went to Tennessee and played there, and opening round of the NCAA tournament, I remember you flew down the court and rammed one home in people's face. Candace, we love you, and we salute you in your retirement. You have earned 3 times?
3.
3 times. Okay. You have earned every bit of this of whatever comes next for you. And I'd love to see you in the booth. Hell, you know what?
That would be huge.
Hell, you know what? Let me put this all the way out there. Candace, I'd love for you to team with me and we cover women's basketball. I said it, and I mean every word of it. I'd love for you, Candace Parker, to team with me and we cover women's basketball. Period. Point blank, end of story. I'd love to do it because your knowledge from having played the sport is impeccable. Now, granted, ESPN may snatch you up first or another network may snatch you up first, but if I become a part of it, I want you to be my partner. I'm putting this all the way out there. If I become a part of a network while I'm building my own, oh, hell, when I finish building my own, I want you to be my partner because although I'm going to be running a multi-billion-dollar company, I still will have the love for calling games. Big Ten championship, anyone? Anybody?
Right.
Anybody remember the hell? And we didn't have much prep time for that.
No, we didn't. It was like, what, 30 minutes the most?
30 minutes. That's all we had. We had 30 minutes to get everything together. I had to create all the graphics and all kinds of stuff. I'll tell you that story after the break. Right now, we have some business to get to. Where is it at? Here it is. And though I don't have any, and I'll probably get an ice version of it later, time for some coffee. Ryan McCoffey joins us. All of our guests appear via the Invader Coffee hotline. Log on to invadercoffee.com. Use the code Snowman for 15% off. Invader Coffee, fuel for the fearless. What up, McCoffey? Good morning.
What's going on, fellas?
What up, supervillain? What you brewing on today?
Well, I got my best buddy by my side right now. Tag along.
Hey!
He's with us in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a pretty wild weekend as far as the NFL draft and also with local sports.
Yep.
I have some stories to share. I'm gonna save most of them for tomorrow night's program. We're back tomorrow. Dustin's back from vacation. Also taking care of some family stuff. So he's back tomorrow. So we're going back to live tomorrow at 8:00 Eastern. Arena football's back.
Yes, it is.
OG Arena football.
The OG Arena football.
OG Arena football's back, but I've got some concerns. I've got some concerns.
Lay it on us.
Not so much about let's put it this way. The Albany-Orlando rivalry It's back on.
Back.
It's back on. I mean, if you and I guess I'll say NFL Network.
If you want 200 points in an arena football game,
there it is.
All I gotta say.
NFL Network made a huge mistake.
They did. What
I'll
they
tell
do?
you what. Yeah, I'll tell you why. So gotta give a shout out to my buddies, Levac and Gaz, Albany Radio, 3 p.m. Eastern. They're on iHeart. You can listen live every day. I'm part of their show in terms of associate producer, but they've been on my program a bunch of times, my show a bunch of times. Levac broke the news on Friday at the NFL Network. They were originally supposed to have broadcast the Albany Orlando game.
But
They decided we're not going to do it this weekend. So big mistake. Big mistake on their part.
Huge
mistake. Huge mistake.
Mm.
I guess we're concerned about the broadcasting and the teams and whatnot. It's a whole mess. It's a whole mess.
Man,
You go back and listen.
Let me have a shot at broadcasting a few arena football games, man. Go on.
But I gotta say this. At least in Albany, things went smooth.
Yeah.
Up until the end. We were treated 16 point. It went behind 16 points before they could even get the football. And they battled back. They never gave up. They won in overtime. On the second field goal attempt of the overtime period by the Firebirds. So I'll share more stories tomorrow. And then yesterday, at the National Lacrosse League quarterfinal single elimination game. First round's always quarterfinal single elimination. And whoever wins goes to the next round's best of 3 for the semifinal and the NLL Cup. And Albany Firewolves, they played a solid game. Allowed 3 goals for the 4th time in league history. They allowed a team only 3 goals or less in a game. It only happened 3 times before in a playoff game. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So shout out to the Albany Firewolves, their team, Dougie Jameson, their goaltender, 52 saves. Tremendous effort. And I got another wild story from them tomorrow again. I don't want to spoil it. I want to
right.
want to save all the stories for tomorrow's show. But
I'll be tuning in.
Thank you. But I just want to acknowledge the fine folks, the Albany Firebirds and the Albany Firewolves. They've been more than accommodating with their player access, their willingness to let me cover games. And this is the first of, and like all the wildness that happened on Saturday night. It's only week 1. There's 9 more games to go. And I don't know if you followed some of the stories from the Arena Football League with the Philadelphia Soul and that whole mess. But basically, the team had like 4 of the original starters, and the coach was let go. 2 days before the game, they had to bring in a new coach, and it was just it's a mess. And there's the travel accommodations between Philadelphia and Louisiana. That was a whole. And I got some concerns about the website. It hasn't changed. I looked to see what the scores were from the other games. I don't see any. You have to go to social media to find out from the other teams for the teams that played to find out the scores were.
Right.
So they need to update a lot of things. I have some concerns about that. Hopefully the league and Commissioner Lee Hutton gets everything squared away, straightened out, and we have another season next year. Hopefully there's no teams that drop out mid-year and mid-season with the reschedule. We do the schedule, and it's just, I'm hoping and praying. I love this league. I grew up watching this league, as you know, Snowman. I grew up watching this league. Albany is a legacy city for arena football.
Yes, it is.
And I want to see the league come back and grow. I don't want to merge with another league. It's original product the way it was intended to be.
And speaking of legacy cities, there's one city I'd love for the Arena League to come back to: Chicago.
Next season. They've already said next season.
I see the wheels turning in your head on that one, Snowman.
I see that. I see the smoke coming out. I see the smoke coming out. Around the gears.
Straight.
Man, you're talking about growing up watching arena football. I played the original arena football game for EA Sports.
There you go.
I remember those games.
Listen, when I was a young lad, about 10 or 11 years old, I had the original NES, Nintendo Entertainment System, 8-bit.
Yes.
I wrote a letter to Konami Games to see if they could get an arena football football game.
Oh, stop. You serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude.
I'm serious. I wrote Konami Games a letter saying I would love to see an arena football video game for NES.
Wow.
Never replied, but
obviously not.
Who's going to listen to an 11-year-old kid? Come on.
They were still trying to figure out how to put the cheat code in every video game they produced.
Listen.
Up, down, down.
Listen.
Even God knows it.
This old guy right here. Listen, one of the game shows I grew up watching, of course, was Wheel of Fortune.
Mm-hmm. Same.
This guy right, and I saw them do a Teen Week. This guy right here decided to write Wheel of Fortune, saying, "Hey, when's the next one? I want to be on it."
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that auditions had to be held. Didn't know that I had to go to Los Angeles, because didn't realize that all the game shows I wanted to be a part of were in California.
Mm-hmm.
That's when my dad yanked me aside in the midst of my excitement and said, "Look, there's a whole process to this." And he explained the process to me. And that made me go, "Oh, didn't know all that was involved." I know now.
Yeah, because when you're a kid, you're like, "Ooh, I want to go on this," and then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, we have to go out there. I live here."
The next game show I wrote for some tickets. What's my favorite?
Price is Right.
Price is Right. But I will say this, and I told one of these stories. This is the best story that ever happened with my years of watching Wheel of Fortune. When we were living with our in-laws, before we got the house we have now, I would always somehow, some way, I don't know how, impress my mother-in-law with how I would solve the puzzle. So one day, I had been upstairs all day. I did the show and I passed back out. I came downstairs because I had to get my medicine and I just caught a glimpse of Wheel of Fortune. They were in the bonus round. While I'm getting my medicine, while I'm half passed out on the kitchen island or half asleep on the kitchen island, my mother-in-law, Sandy, saw the puzzle on television, saw me. Now, mind you, I'm fogged out at this point because I'm trying to get my insulin. I'm fogged out. My mother-in-law turns to me and says, "Okay, Brian, solve this puzzle." And she had that "I dare you" look. Like, I dare you to top me on this one. Well, son of a gun, if I didn't take a look at that puzzle for 2 seconds and I blurt out, "Oh yeah, frozen yogurt." And I put my head back down. The contestant said the solution, won the prize, and I get this look from my mother-in-law of, "How the hell did you do that?" Gets better. My wife walks in and she sees me. She helps me get my medicine. And she looked at my mother-in-law, who had steam coming out of her ears. She was smiling, but still had steam coming out of her ears. And she said, Jody said, "What happened?" My mother-in-law told her what happened. And my wife just simply said, "That's him. He's a nerd. He can't help it."
Yeah.
Tends to happen.
The nerd just has to come out sometimes.
The nerd has to come out.
All right. I got only a short amount of time, so let's talk draft. And did you see who came back to the Cowboys?
Oh God.
Why am I not surprised that they actually made that move?
They're still not going to have a good running game.
No, they're not,
No.
because doesn't exist. Because
Listen,
like
they may have drafted offensive linemen.
Pennywise
is the absolutely.
hasn't gotten himself an offensive.
Pennywise and King Jarrell had a hand in the draft. That should tell you everything you need to know about the Cowboys draft room.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Yep.
King Jarrell and Pennywise had a hand in the draft room. And yes, they got some offensive linemen. Yes, they did. Not going to lie, they made some good choices. The problem? Pennywise is the coach.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But enough about Pennywise. Let's talk about the Jets.
Yes. Let's do.
Very good draft. Very good draft, as far as I'm concerned. You drop down a spot to pick up Fashanu, which I had them taking Fatanu from Washington, but he's more of I think he's going to move over to guard.
Yeah.
In Pittsburgh. So I'm okay with Fashanu. He's had kind of a rough year last year with injuries, but overall he's a lighter, he's a shorter, lighter, more versatile version of Mekhi Becton. Who actually signed with the Eagles. Congratulations to him.
Yeah.
And I watched the second round. I was watching from a local watering hole on Friday. I'm thinking to myself, all right, you got all these 4th round picks. Joe Douglas, what are you going to do with them? He didn't do anything. I had a friend of my buddy Dan, who's co-host of Victory Monday, reaches out to me and says, I'm really concerned. He's not going to move up in the second round. I'm like, let's just wait. And then he trades up in the 3rd round to number 1, the first pick in the 3rd round, and picks the yards after catch king of college football last year, Malachi Corley, who when he gets the ball, he runs angry. I love that.
Yeah, he
runs
does.
angry. Then 4th round, 3 picks in the 4th round. You see Joe Douglas trading down. You're like, what is he doing? What is he coming up with? What is Trader Joe doing?
Trader Joe.
He takes Braylon Allen from Wisconsin. I watched his tape. I'm going, oh my goodness. If there's one thing that Joe Douglas loves more than his wife and kids, it's drafting offensive linemen and running backs.
Yes.
It's one thing he'll right after it's wife, kids, drafting old linemen, running backs.
Linemen and running backs. Yeah.
And I made that comment on social media, and some clown comes at me and says,
"Oh no!"
and says, "Oh yeah, I've got the receipts. Oh, no. So I said that I said that comment, and I get this comment. I'm not going to mention his name because I don't want to give him him all the smoke. Right. But he writes to me and he says, if you wouldn't mind opening it.
Yeah, my mouse is acting stupid. Hang tight a minute. So this idiot writes to you and says, quote,
running back will not make team. Douglas is having a bad day.
Close quote.
To which I reply,
oh no.
And my buddy, well, here's the thing. My buddy had what my buddy Dan had tagged me on social media. The picture of Jalen Allen in the weight room. Dude's a beast. Dude's an absolute beast. So I take that. I take that tweet, and I reply to him. I said, I dare you to say with the photo. I says, I dare you to say that to Jalen Allen yourself with a laughing emoji. Just to be jovial, just to be jovial, and just keep it fun, keep it light.
Yeah.
And then he comes back at me again. Please open it.
Saying,
quote,
keep my words. Time will tell. Remember P. Ryan? Douglas can't evaluate running backs.
Close quote.
Oh,
Hi.
for God's sake.
I
couple
think-
things. I didn't reply because A, I was at the Firebirds game, and B, I don't have time for this stupidity. But I would have replied, A, 2020, the 2020 draft was light years ago. Light years. Also, do you remember Breece Hall?
Breece Lightning.
Do you remember Breece Hall? And how Joe Douglas traded up to get Breece Hall before the Giants could steal him? Do you remember? No, because you're a prisoner. You're a prisoner of the moment. Where's that element? You're a prisoner of the moment.
Prisoner of the moment.
Prisoner
Wait,
of the moment.
Wait. I think I can audibly recreate this. Let me get my sound base up here. But yeah, you talk about people being stupid. And here it is. You talk about people being prisoner of the moment.
It was
Best
that
I can do. Best I can do.
It was that dude. That's okay. That's okay. So then you keep going a little further down in the 4th round, and they pick up Jordan Travis from Florida State. Now, granted, he's coming off an ACL tear, probably won't be ready for camp.
Right.
That's okay. That's okay. Because at least you can develop. At least you drafted a guy you can develop. Unlike James Morgan, who's I think he's currently in the UFL, and Zach Wilson, who should be in the UFL.
Thank you.
You draft a quarterback who had a very good year last year before he tore his ACL. And you can develop him. You can sit him behind Tyrod Taylor and Aaron Rodgers for a couple seasons. Let him develop. Let him become a quarterback in the NFL. The concern, I guess you have a little bit of concern, is age, because he's one of the he's 20. Well, he's 23. So that's not that old, but considering a lot of these quarterbacks in this draft were part of the COVID year or 2020, a lot of them had extra year of eligibility. There's concern about age, but he's 23. By the time Rodgers retires, I suspect he'll retire in 2 seasons. He says, "Yeah, I'm going to give you 2 more seasons." And when you have Tyrod Taylor moving on, he's on a 1-year deal. Travis will be ready. Travis will be ready to take over in 2026. So hopefully he develops there. Then they take Isaiah Davis from South Dakota State. Again, it's another running back. You got 4 running backs in the running room, in the running back room, and then I think is the story of the draft. In the 5th round, you pick Quantez Stiggers. You remember him from last year in the CFL.
I do.
He went from fan-controlled football, just tried out on a whim, tried out for fan-controlled football, got picked up by the Toronto Argonauts, won Defensive Rookie of the Year, declared for the draft, played at the Senior Bowl, and now he's a New York Jet.
Now he's a Jet.
Amazing story. Amazing story. And then Mr. Irrelevant, Jalen Key, safety, Alabama. I suspect he's probably going to be a special teams dude, but again, it's added depth to the secondary. So, yeah, we'll probably talk more about this in another edition of Victory Monday because the schedule's being released this week as well.
Oh boy.
I believe it's this week. The schedule's being released. If I'm right.
I'm thinking you're right.
I hope it's released this week.
Yeah, it makes 2 of us. I wouldn't mind seeing when we're going to get our butts kicked.
I want to see. I want to see when we get to kick Dallas's ass.
Let's see. Schedule release. It says some coming in May, but didn't say what day.
I'm thinking.
Anyway, I think it's going to be this week. I think it's either this week or next week. It's usually right after the draft. But yeah, I feel good about this draft. We'll cover it more on Victory Monday. But I think the Jets had a good draft. It was a little bit maddening with Joe Douglas making all those trades, kept trading down. But I think he did it on purpose because, well, he's got an extra third round pick next year.
Yeah.
You got them. You got that from the Lions when they traded up in the 4th round, and you stockpiled picks, and you said the guys you wanted that were there wound up being there.
Yeah.
So they were very patient. They were very deliberate. And I think what Joe Douglas is doing is that he's learned from his mistakes. 2020 and 2021, complete washes. 2022, probably one of the greatest draft years in Jets history. And 2023, to be determined, but there's hope there. Will McDonald is going to be, I think he's going to be another one of those guys in the edge who's going to make a difference.
Right.
And then this year, I'm excited for this year. So pretty good. I think pretty solid draft for the Jets.
Cool. And they're going back retro with their uniforms and their logo.
Oh my gosh. 4-year-old Ryan is
I'm dancing.
Out of this world.
Dancing,
oh man. That's the Jets uniform I grew up with, man.
That's the Jets logo. That's the Jets logo I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Hope you all enjoyed it. Coffee with McCarthy here with us this morning, now turning afternoon. My friend, thank you as always. Victory Monday is when?
I think Victory Monday, we're going to react to the draft next week, but the regular show turns tomorrow, 8 p.m. Talk about more of the wild, crazy happenings that went on this weekend in Capital Region sports. Talk about the NFL. Well, Justin and I will recap our respective teams for the NFL draft and Victory Monday. We'll probably do a Saturday morning brunch as well for this Saturday. So,
all right.
Tune in.
All right, man. Thanks for joining us. We love you, and we'll see you next week.
Dude, I just saw the new Jets look. Those are clean.
Those are sick.
I'm a Pats fan, and I'm all for this. I like them.
I love that retro look. We got a break, and we also owe you an ID, so let's allow our stations to identify themselves, and we'll be back after this break. Hour 2 coming up next.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus. Smarter than energy.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brooks Night Guard. Now, the Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to brooksnightguard.com and order yours today.
We were always hippies at heart, I guess, and that was one way that we showed it before we became full-time RVers.
Yeah, we were definitely living small and minimally.
What made us decide to go with Battleborn was everyone from their top leadership team down to their service department helped us so much the whole way through. Our relationship with Battleborn is so much more than business. And me and Dennis love to jam together. We've played together multiple times, and that's been an awesome transition. Be able to learn so much more about the business, also just make some awesome friends.
Hey everyone, I'm joined by my old friend, Mr. Ellis Williams, AKA Mr. Biggs. You called me and you told me, you said, man, I got CarShield and it worked. What made you get it?
I have this old SUV, and I know the manufacturer warranty is about to run out. I didn't want to get stuck with expensive car repairs.
Right.
So I gave CarShield a call. Coverage was very affordable, and there was no long-term contract. A few months after that, transmission went on my car. I took it to my mechanic. They called CarShield and saved my family on $2,400.
CarShield is America's #1 auto protection company. Their administrators have paid out over $1 billion in claims and cover most vehicles from 5,000 to 150,000 miles. You'll receive 24/7 roadside assistance, courtesy towing, rental reimbursement at no additional charge.
Give CarShield a call today before it's too late. Remember,
CarShield cars go farther.
Protect yourself now against expensive auto repair bills. Call 800-513-9263.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE. Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
What's your emergency, please?
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light optimizing lenses that block blue rays so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
So Snowman's been asked, who's the face of the NBA? The face of the NBA has been residing in the Bay since he got here. And his name is Wardell Stephen Curry, the only unanimous MVP in NBA history. Take that.
Oh, yeah!
Welcome back to Snowman in the Morning.
Yeah, that's us. No Man in the Morning, back here for hour 2, 12:06 Eastern Time, 11:06 in the Central Time Zone, and a welcome to those of you listening live on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Thank you for joining us. All right, time to get back down to business. But 2 notes before we go into the second hour. 2 notes. 1. Dear Denver Nuggets, please kick the Lakers' asses. Please.
I knew that was coming.
I can't stand this team, and I can't stand these damn bronzexuals anymore. One win, and they're insufferable. They're about as insufferable as Cowboy fans. And we know a few of them.
Ow. Ow.
Shall I go further? I believe I shall. They're as insufferable as Cub fans, and I lived with one.
Ouch.
Find the lie.
I mean, you're not wrong, but ouch.
What?
I ain't even had lunch yet, and you're choosing violence.
I haven't chosen violence yet.
Oh, God.
I haven't chosen violence yet. Wait till Wednesday.
Oh, dear God.
You know what's coming.
Yes, and it's like a freight train with the high beam on. We are stuck watching.
Yep. Now, the second note before we get to some grades, and you're going to handle the grades today.
Okay.
I'll put the team up. You analyze, because I've done all my analysis. All right. Now, to the second note before we continue. As I open the show, Bradley Beal, you a bitch. I have not chosen violence yet. But I'll say again, these Bronsexuals are as insufferable as Cowboy fans and Cub fans in one place. How about that? You want me to choose? You want me to choose violence? These Bronsexuals are insufferable as Cowboy fans and Cub fans in the same blank blank bar, wishing their team would win a championship. How about that?
Yeah, I believe that. Believe me. That's pretty rough.
I'm sick of it.
I believe it.
I am sick of it. And you know what? I'll add a third group on there. The Chicago Bear fans. The Midwest Committee of Bear Idiocy. Y'all are idiots. To think, and I was talking to Cole on the way in from the doctor, and he said Caleb Williams hadn't played an NFL down yet, and you're going to roast him. Damn straight. I did the game where he played Utah and acted like a little bitch after his team lost. That's all I needed to see. That's all I needed to see.
Not wrong.
Like I said, find the lie. All right, let's go. We got these to deal with. NFC East draft grades. And I watched part of the draft.
Where are we going first?
I watched part of the draft. Okay? And as far as the presentation goes, and I'm going to love doing this because I got to get my bleep button here. Oh, and by the way, our affiliates will get this. Our radio affiliates will get this episode. I can't keep holding back anymore. I'll just use the button that I'm used to using. As far as the presentation goes for the NFL draft, it's pretty simple. What the was that?
You're not wrong.
It's not even about the kids anymore. It's the glitz and the glamour. And it was in Detroit. So they were off the hook.
Oh, yeah, easily.
A lot of my radio buddies were in Detroit, and congratulations to them for covering the draft. We'll do it next year, wherever it lands. But as far as the presentation goes and the presentation only, what the was that?
I mean, like I said, you're not wrong.
Let's get down to business. We're going to start with the Giants, since that came up next in the thing. Wait, let me see if I can get this right. No. There we go.
Oh,
there we go.
We're gonna start off with.
We're gonna start with the Cowboys. Now start analyzing and make me laugh.
It's the Dallas Cowboys and Gerald Jones. Of course, we're gonna laugh when it comes down to it at the end of the day. I mean, come on here. Let's be real. Pennywise and Gerald had their hands all over this draft because they only took one offensive weapon, and that was pick 216, Ryan Flournoy from Southeast Missouri, wide receiver. Everything else was beef.
Yeah. But who's the coach?
Pennywise.
The dancing clown.
Enough
said.
Said.
I love the fact that they drafted offensive linemen. Love that fact that they addressed a need. But one more time, who's the coach?
It's Pennywise.
It ain't Jimmy Johnson.
No, and the fact is, these guys basically split their picks outside of the one wide receiver between the offensive line and defensive line.
Mm-hmm. Because they got shelled. The offensive defensive line of the Cowboys got shelled. Green Bay Packers, anyone?
Yeah, I mean, you look at it. They went offensive tackle in the first round. Then they bring in a defensive end, offensive guard, linebacker. Then they go defensive back. Then finally they draft the wide receiver because Lord knows they need one.
What's the name of the defensive back?
Kalen Carson from Wake Forest.
He's going to replace Trayvon Diggs. I'm choosing violence. Let me shout Ray Hamna, the Hamna Force joining us. Sick Diggy joining us as well, all the way from Norway. Vikala joined us. I believe Genevieve was here with us for a bit.
Yeah.
And RC crazy about women's hoops. I love it. And RC, you and I are doing some women's hoops next year. Back to business.
I think Jen's actually got us up on our phone still.
Oh, nice. Nice. Okay.
Yes, Jen, I pay attention to things. I know you're streaming Minecraft right now, but I pay attention to things. I'll be there after I eat lunch.
All right.
Then they went offensive tackle and defensive tackle to wrap up their picks.
I hate saying this. I hate saying this aloud, but then again, I don't. It's the Cowboys. It's Pennywise. They're not smart enough to put this beef. They're not smart enough to put the beef up front and let them learn.
No,
I've always been a fan of that. Who do you think who was the master of doing it first? Bill Walsh.
Yep.
Who became better at doing it? Jimmy Johnson.
And that's how Jimmy won his championships. The offensive line protected.
Absolutely. Every dynasty had an offensive line. All right? Every damn dynasty had an offensive line. The Giants, the Cowboys, the 49ers, the Redskins. Oh, the Redskins with the Hogs.
Do
I need to say any more?
No. Not at all.
Speaking of Giants, let's go there next. Damn it, wrong button. There we go.
It's going to be.
I'm sorry. I got all this done within the span of 5 minutes. All right. On to the New York Giants. What you got for me?
Oh, they actually spread their picks out between offense and defense, which is not surprising. But the fact they grabbed Malik Neighbors 6th overall is going to help them out with their long game for sure.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
And then they picked up Penn State tight end Theo Johnson and Purdue running back Tyrone Tracy Jr.
You know what? Tyrone Tracy Jr., you just may have earned yourself a starting role.
It wouldn't surprise me because he's got some depth to him.
Yep, I think he's earned himself a starting role, especially given the fact no more Saquon.
Yeah, exactly. And they need someone who can bust it out north and south and then kick it into third gear.
Indeed, they do. And the other thing about Saquon, and we've said this a lot, he couldn't stay healthy.
No, and Tyrone has the ability to stay healthy all year.
I hope so. I hope so. And you said he's out of Purdue. Did I get that right?
Yes, sir.
Out of Purdue. It's Big Ten, and they love to run the football.
That they do.
It's the Big Ten, and they love to run the football. Period.
Yep. And on the defensive side, they picked up Minnesota safety Tyler Nubin, Kentucky corner Andrew Phillips, and UCLA linebacker Darius Moussaow.
Moussaow. I'm sorry.
I
just love the name.
Yeah.
I just love the name. I just love the name.
I got a feeling the Giants are going to be a little bit more stout this year because they seem to be addressing the biggest needs, and that was offensive weaponry and then having themselves a deep secondary.
I hope so, man. I hope so. The NFL is competitive with the Giants.
It is.
The NFL is competitive with the Giants. Period. Especially the old Bill Parcells Giants.
Right.
The old school Bill Parcells Giants. Gotta love it. Okay. Next we have these guys. The Philadelphia Eagles. 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 Matter of fact, let me do this. Let me do this properly, and it's going to look good with the editing, folks, so y'all trust me on this. Next we have the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's do it, Shane. What you got for me?
Well, again, it was more spread out for these guys. 4 offensive, 4 defensive picks, but they led off with 3 straight defensive picks.
Yeah.
Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, and Jalix Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
2 defensive backs and a linebacker before they finally got into the running game and picked up Clemson running back Will Shipley.
Will Shipley is going to start for them.
Oh,
I mean,
easily.
Listen, I know the Eagles signed Saquon Barkley. That was a splash pick.
Mm-hmm.
Problem? Can't stay healthy.
No, he can't. He really can't.
Can't stay healthy for the life
I'll
of it.
tell you the other thing Philadelphia did that was smart is they picked up 2 wide receivers because who's throwing the ball out in Philadelphia right now?
Jalen Hurts.
He gonna need some weaponry.
He's gonna need to stay healthy.
That's the big thing too.
And we talk about the Philadelphia Eagles for a moment. 2 problems that plagued Philadelphia last year: injuries, and when they got knocked around by San Francisco mentally, they were done.
And the biggest reason San Fran knocked them around was the fact they had no offensive line, and I think they might have shored that up.
I hope so, man.
Well,
I hope so. I hated to see Philadelphia collapse the way that they did. Let me just be honest.
Yeah.
I hated to see Philadelphia collapse the way that they did. But you play the card, and I've said this before, you play the cards you've been dealt.
Yep.
You play the cards you've been dealt. At the same time, the Eagles addressed a lot of needs in this draft.
They did, and they shored up their front end with offensive guard Trevor Keegan and North Carolina State center Dylan McMahon.
Jason Kelsey's replacement.
Yep.
Or one thereof.
And on the wide receiving core, Texas A&M wide receiver Anaya Smith and Florida State wide receiver Johnny Wilson.
I like Anaya Smith, man.
But defensive-wise, they definitely stayed with a secondary because their other pick was Clemson linebacker Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
There's your legacy pick. Right there.
So the biggest thing that Philadelphia had problems with was defensive backs and not having a good front line.
Mm-hmm.
This could be how they shore that up.
I'm glad that teams are addressing their needs. Okay? I'm glad that teams are addressing their needs. That's huge. Because when the NFL was really ultra competitive and the draft happened, what did teams do first?
Needs.
They addressed their needs. And when we get to talking about San Francisco, and I've had some fake 49er fans in my ear, I will tell you why they had a great draft. But that's down the line. When teams address their needs, they tend to do better. And I hope that for the Giants and Philadelphia come this year, because You know how you follow football as long as I. You know how ultra competitive the NFC East can be.
Usually is, especially late in season.
Especially when they're beating each other's asses for the division title.
Yeah, I mean, I remember.
But I love that kind of football.
I remember when the East would be decided by 1 or 2 games at the most, and that was like 9-8 or 10-7.
I'll tell you one game that I have in my files that decided the NFC East. Go back to 1984. It was the Cardinals and the Redskins. And yes, I said it correct. Washington Redskins when they played at RFK Stadium. The Cardinals and the Redskins meeting to decide the NFC East. And it was pretty simple. Winner is in as the East champions. Loser goes home.
I still can't believe the Cardinals were in the East.
And you need some more caffeine. I can tell that right now.
I'll have that fixed midweek. Don't worry about it. I got a long week ahead of me. I've got a race to call at 7:30 tomorrow night.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Yep.
Okay, back to business. When the Cardinals and the Redskins met in 84 to decide the East Division, it came down to a field goal. The Cardinals had no timeouts. They had a quarterback named Neil Lomax who threw, I believe, for over 400 yards that day. The Cardinals hustled their offense off and their kicking unit back on, and Neil O'Donohue was trying a 40-something yard field goal, and he missed it wide to the right as time expired, and the Redskins were dancing in the aisles at RFK.
Right.
Where's that kind of football?
On YouTube for us to watch, but unfortunately not on the field nowadays.
Yeah, everybody wants to employ the West Coast offense. And a lot of these teams ain't got the horses to employ the West Coast offense.
No, they don't.
They don't have the horses to employ the West Coast. I'll say it again. They don't have the horses to employ the West Coast offense.
No, they really don't.
But the big thing for Philadelphia, for me, stay healthy. Please.
That's the biggest thing.
Don't let, and I'll say this to Eagle fans and the Eagles alike. Don't let what happened last year when you lost 5 out of 6 to close the season. Don't let that happen. Okay? That's my plea for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's a very, 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 very personal plea. Why? I want to see them and my 49ers in the NFC Championship with both teams at full strength.
That would be huge.
You want to talk about a ratings winner? There you go.
True.
You want to talk about a ratings winner? There you go. But oh man, it'll be fun to see San Francisco and Philadelphia do it again.
I'm all for it.
I would love to see San Francisco and Philadelphia do it again. Don't matter if it's at the Link, don't matter if it's at Levi's. I want to see them do it again for the NFC Championship. I'm picking it right now. Eagles, 49ers for the NFC title. The only thing that will be decided is where. That's it.
I'll give it 20 to 1 that says it'll be in Santa Clara.
Yeah, I'll give you the same odds. It'll be in Santa Clara this time. And I know a lot of Eagle fans. I know a lot of Eagles fans. Cool McCain, my dear brother, big time Eagles fan, but he calls it like he sees it.
Yeah.
And he said something that was very, very true, and it stuck with me, that the Eagles were destroyed before the season began by Nick Sirianni, and they hired an offensive coordinator named Brian Johnson who didn't know what the hell he was doing. I remember him saying that. Now, here's the question.
If they practically won the division just to spite them.
Right. Here's a question. If the Eagles do not reach the Super Bowl this year, is this the end of Sirianni?
Yes. Hands down.
Yeah, I believe that too.
They will probably end up grenading the entire coaching staff if they don't reach the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah. After tasting it 2 years ago in Arizona and then seeing what the 49ers did to him in the Link, mind you.
Yep.
In the Link. I was supposed to do that. I'll tell you something funny. I was supposed to do that game, but my kidney had other ideas. And it was during, those 2 weeks you didn't hear from me. Here's why. Here's I never told you what happened. Here's why. I did the Colts game against Tampa Bay following Thanksgiving, and I made a very critical mistake. I loaded up with caffeine and didn't back it up with water.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
My kids were here. My grandkids were here. I had a ton of fun, but I made that critical mistake, and I promised myself I'll never do it again. If ever I have caffeine here at my desk, you best believe I'm gonna have some water with me.
Right.
All right, let's wrap up the NFC East with the Washington Redskins. Talk to me.
Oh, well, they went defensive for the majority of their picks, but we all know who they took number 2.
Jaden Daniels.
Now, is he going to be their starter out the box?
I'm going to say yes.
Ooh.
I'm going to say yes. They picked him not only for the splash, but they needed someone dynamic. Jaden Daniels is that. He is dynamic. And the Redskins are putting the pieces in place. But I'll say it again, and I've said it all the time. You got to protect him.
Yeah, well, their picks for when it came down to something like that went more defensive than offensive because they drafted the 3 offensive pieces they drafted was Daniels, Ben Sinnott from Kansas State, the tight end, and Luke McCaffrey from Rice as the wide receiver. Everything else,
Luke freaking McCaffrey.
He'll be a threat for them downfield for sure. But then the rest of their picks
he's going to be his brother.
Yeah.
Luke McCaffrey is going to be just like Christian McCaffrey. Now, Washington, do not do what Carolina did to Christian McCaffrey. Please. I beg of you, don't do that.
What's that? Screw him up and then send him out to San Francisco?
Look, don't screw him up, first and foremost. Don't use him so much that you don't protect your investment. That's been the problem with a lot of teams lately. They don't protect their investment.
You're not wrong.
Philadelphia Eagles and Jalen Hurts, anyone?
But then you're not wrong. But the other big thing Washington had problems with last year was defense.
Yep.
Especially their front line. And they look to try to shore that up with defensive tackle Jerzan Newton out of Illinois, defensive back Mike Serenristi from Michigan, linebacker from Temple Jordan McGee, defensive back from Washington. There's one for you. Dominique Hampton.
Mm-hmm.
And then Javante Jean-Baptiste from Notre Dame, defensive end.
I like Jerzan Newton out of Illinois. We talked about him.
Yeah.
If he went, we talked about him and we both said if he went to the right team, he'd have an immediate impact. He's with the right team. He's with the right team.
Yeah, he is.
And here's the immediate impact that the Redskins were looking for.
Yeah, he'll be able to plug up gaps just to make sure of things because I guarantee you he'll be the one to plug up most of the B gaps and keep everything inside.
And he's a mountain to move.
Yeah, he is.
That kid is a mountain to move. And I told you, I had a chance to talk to Brian Barnhart, longtime voice of the Fighting Illini. Man, look, if he's excited about Jerzan Newton, imagine what the Redskins will do if they surround him with. Now you can still have undrafted free agents, okay? They're still available.
Easily.
They're still available.
There's a lot of them.
Yep. And I say proudly, look what the 49ers did last year.
True.
Because they got all their offensive line help from undrafted free agents, and I got the feeling they'll have a few more.
Wouldn't surprise me any.
Yeah, but we'll talk NFC West later in the week. We'll wrap up here with the AFC East. Jay Spivey is on the way, hopefully. If Jay doesn't make it, then we'll do the AFC East. If not, we'll save it for tomorrow. But matter of fact, we'll do this one division at a time. Not even gonna try and stress ourselves. We'll do this one. We'll do this one division at a time, and just handle it that way. What I'm wearing here is a tribute to my homies down in Lewisburg, North Carolina, who were so gracious to me in allowing me to call their games. which I'd love to do again. Just couldn't sustain it because A, I got sick, and B, couldn't find any damn sponsors. Couldn't find any advertisers. But the assignment came at the last minute. So I was prepared broadcast-wise, but I wasn't prepared sales-wise. I have learned my lesson.
That's what it's about, man.
I have learned my lesson. Yeah, sick. Can anybody say dehydration? Oh boy. It was bad. When I did that game after Thanksgiving on nothing but Coke. And my wife bought a case of it. My wife bought a case of it. But never again. Even when I drink coffee, I make sure that I have plenty of this. I make sure I have plenty of ice water. We're overdue for a break, but that's our look at the NFC East draft grades. Tomorrow you know what? Tomorrow, let's do the NFC West. Let's do the NFC West tomorrow. All right. Y'all know what's coming. Y'all know what's on deck. Jay Spivey, like I said, hopefully is on the way. If not, we're just going to pal around and just have some good times to talk about. Back after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus. Smarter than energy.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brooks Night Guard. Now, the Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to brooksnightguard.com and order yours today.
Hey everyone, I'm joined by my old friend, Mr. Ellis Williams, AKA Mr. Biggs. You called me and you told me, you said, man, I got Car Shield and it worked. What made you get it?
I have this old SUV and I know the manufacturer warranty is about to run out. I don't want to get stuck with expensive car repairs.
Right.
So I gave Car Shield a call. Coverage was very affordable and there was no long-term contract. A few months after that, transmission went on my car. I took it to my mechanic, they called Car Shield and saved my family on $2,400.
Car Shield is America's #1 auto protection company. Their administrators have paid out over $1 billion in claims and cover most vehicles from 5,000 to 150,000 miles. You'll receive 24/7 roadside assistance, courtesy towing, rental reimbursement at no additional charge.
Give Car Shield a call today before it's too late. Remember,
Car Shield cars go farther.
Protect yourself now against expensive auto repair bills. Call 800-513-9263.
We were always hippies.
Cause we take this job so serious.
The f is that? Sorry, pardon me. My apologies.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
Hard to take anything serious with Wise pulling stuff like that.
Oh, we love you, Brother Wise. And that happened live.
Yeah, I know. I watched.
You were there. You were there. You were there. You were in the chat. You were in the chat with us when Wise did that.
Yep.
And what sparked that, and I know I've told this story before, but we only got a couple minutes. What sparked that was when Cole introduced this element.
After that, well, we got the clip for it.
Yep. I tell you what, I'll say it again, folks. That happened live on the air. Speaking of live on the air, let's go to North Carolina and let's get some notes. Jay Spivey joins us. Missed you last week. That's my fault, but we have you this week. What's up, Jay?
Good afternoon. How you doing?
What up, Jay, man?
What's up?
Okay, what you got for us? This is all you. What you got for us? Where you want to start?
Let's start. Even though we normally talk about the Panthers, and they actually did a pretty good job draft-wise. Let's talk about what on earth the Falcons are doing.
You mean besides the fact they signed 2 Chainz Cousins?
They signed Kirk 2 Chainz Cousins to the richest quarterback deal in history, and then backed it up Thursday night, selecting Michael Penix Jr. in the draft. What?
And didn't even tell Cousins until they called Penix on the phone. I mean, why? Why are you drafting the quarterback?
Why are you drafting a quarterback when you paid 2 Chainz Cousins? You paid him. There was all kinds of ballyhoo around the signing of Kirk Cousins and where he would go. You think he's settled in Atlanta, and then they do this.
And a lot of guaranteed money, no less.
92 mil. 92 mil of guaranteed money.
I mean, listen, Kirk Cousins may not be the best quarterback ever, but he has worked the system as well, if not better, than any quarterback in the history of the NFL.
Yep.
Look at all the money he's garnered in guaranteed money.
And
for one playoff game.
For one playoff win. One.
But I'm going to go on a limb and predict that he will probably have more playoff wins than Michael Penix.
I think that.
You're not wrong. You're really not wrong.
That. I think and believe that.
And with all the help they need and a division as sorry as NFC South is, and you go pick a quarterback when you don't really need a quarterback? Come on.
How do you think I feel being a Patriots fan when we got 3 quarterbacks, albeit 2 of them are not named Jacoby Brissett, thank God, and we end up drafting 2 quarterbacks?
No, and I know a lot of people think they should have traded down. I don't think they had any other choice but to draft Jake May. I really don't. I really don't. Now, some of these quarterbacks I think are reaches, but in the NFL, I wasn't a bit surprised that 6 quarterbacks were drafted as high as they were. It's just it's a feeding frenzy anymore for quarterbacks.
Who do you think was the biggest reach?
Oh, to me, I mean, the Falcons reaching at 12 for a quarterback and they didn't need one.
Penix.
That was an eyebrow raiser for me. I mean, that was the first real eyebrow raiser for me. Like, what are they doing?
That shocked me.
I mean, all the draft boards had Atlanta picking a wide receiver, at their pick, and then all of a sudden, here's Penix comes up. It's like, what?
And they apparently had a big draft party there Thursday night, and a lot of fans were furious.
Do you blame them?
No, not one bit. I don't blame them one bit.
I don't blame them one bit either. I do not blame them one bit. And
I guarantee he won't come out and say that. That was an Arthur Blank pick. That wasn't a coach or GM pick.
No, it wasn't a coach
and
pick.
So, but they came out there that night. The GM and the coach came out there, and I guess were sacrificial lambs for the media.
Isn't that all they usually are when it comes to media, especially down in Atlanta?
Yep.
Well, I get, but come on. If you're going to make the pick, act like a real person and say it. Even David Tepper, I can't stand David Tepper. I think he would admit he made the pick.
But they won't do it in Atlanta.
Arthur Blank's not going to do that.
They just messed up their whole quarterback room and messed up their whole team with this pick, because now you invite the division amongst the players to happen with this pick.
I just don't understand what the Falcons are doing.
Speaking of what are they doing, what are the Panthers doing?
They actually, for the Panthers, I think they had a decent draft. I wouldn't say spectacular, but I think they certainly made some men. They certainly picked some guys who I think will help them.
Yeah. Who would help in the immediate? Who would help them?
I think they got a receiver who I think will help.
Xavier Leggett.
I think Leggett will help them. That's another one I don't get, is what on earth the Bills were doing, keep trading down when they desperately need a wide receiver.
They need a wide. Yeah, they need a wide
receiver. They traded
receiver
down twice.
Well, they drafted one with Keon Coleman, but that was 33rd.
You know the stupidest thing that the Bills did? They traded Stephon Diggs. They traded down, and they allowed the world champion Kansas City Chiefs to snatch Xavier Worthy.
Yes.
What the hell are you doing up in Buffalo?
Allow your nothing against the teams in the AFC East, but for all intents and purposes, they can't get over the hump and beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. So why do you allow the Chiefs to trade with you to draft your biggest need on the team?
Dude, I'm a Patriots fan, and I'm not arguing that point because I know the AFC East is going to get run over by the Chiefs this year.
Yeah.
He is a typical Chiefs draft pick. I mean, apparently he just needs like a yard, and he's end up in a cloud of dust.
Yep.
He's that fast.
He is. To say he has world class. Oh, we lost Jay. Say he has world class speed. To say that Xavier Worthy has world class speed would be a horrible understatement. Understatement.
The dude reminds me a lot of Tyreek Hill. I mean, once you get that first burst, he's gone.
Well, we'll see, but I think with Mahomes and the way he plays and the way he utilizes receivers and tight ends, I think he's perfect. He's the perfect pick.
He is.
So they just they don't rebuild, they just reload.
Andy Reid knows what he's doing when it comes to a lot of this, and he just knows how to coach them up to put them in their strength.
And they have to be the favorite to win the Super Bowl again. I don't get. I mean, when was the last time? Nobody's won 3 in a row, have they?
No one's won 3 in a row.
I mean,
I think it was New England went about 3 out of 4 though.
Yep.
But
that's the closest we got.
They have to be the favorite to win. They have to.
Yeah, easily.
They're the favorites to become the first team to win 3 in a row. They're the first team to be favorites to win 3 in a row. The Packers attempted it, couldn't do it. The Steelers attempted it twice.
Couldn't do it.
The 49ers attempted it, couldn't do it. The Cowboys, same thing.
Bills.
I think the Chiefs are going to pull it off. Bills, yeah. Oh my God.
And what is
New England?
What is Jerry doing?
You mean drinking all that Geritol?
They draft no running back, and I don't know if you guys saw it or not. They just signed Zeke Elliott back.
They re-signed Ezekiel Elliott. Why the hell did they do that?
Why?
Just 2 years after you moved on from him, you gave him the indicator that you moved on from Ezekiel Elliott from me was to have him at center against a couple of linebackers who were going to run him over.
Well, even when he was with Dallas his last year or two, or even maybe even 3, his stats had greatly diminished.
And
then he did nothing in New England.
Well, it didn't help that we only used him primarily on 3rd downs until our primary running back went down with an injury.
Well, the Patriots are a disaster right now.
You're not wrong. Well, I mean, why do you think I'm wearing my Red Sox hat instead of my Patriots hat today? I'm just saying. And the Red Sox ain't faring that much better right now.
Hey, but they were on Sunday Night Baseball for some unknown reason last night.
Blame ESPN yet again. It's Boston, Chicago. Pandering to the 2 markets.
Boston, New York. What we talked about last year. Boston and the Red Sox and the Yankees were in the basement of their division, and yet they were on Sunday Night Baseball a lot.
Meanwhile, I know I'm biased here, but
The Atlanta Braves.
The number 1 and number 2 teams in baseball played each other 3 games this weekend, and not one of them was on national TV.
Not one. You know, Fox is going to avoid the Atlanta Braves like the plague.
Not one of them.
Like I said, you know, Fox is going to avoid the Atlanta Braves like the plague.
Well, it's every Sunday night. It's the same teams on Sunday Night Baseball, and then even if they're, I know technically a game is on, but they don't ever talk about the game.
Nope.
I mean, they spent however many minutes last night talking to Theo Epstein, or talking to players about the sunflower seeds they're eating or whatever. Who cares?
Okay,
or the tattoos on Tyler O'Neill's arm.
Exactly.
Okay, so what prompted the baseball broadcast that in the middle of the game or an inning to do interviews with players? I mean, they got to concentrate and play baseball.
Well,
It's
nonstop
ESPN. It's ESPN.
Now. Oh, and then they talk about, all they do is talk about analytics anyway. There's never any strategy or anything. They're just analytics.
Analytics suck.
You got that right.
I hate to say it, but it took the strategy out of baseball.
Analytics are dumb.
We
Okay,
know how I feel about
sabermetric analytics are dumb. I'm going to repeat Jay's feelings because these are mine. Analytics are dumb. Sabermetrics are dumb. Okay? They're dumb, they're stupid, and they should never be involved in sports anyway. Did the player get the job done at the key time or not? There's a metric.
Whatever happened to putting the strategy together in game?
Please.
That's out the window.
I mean, you play the opponent that you get, but every day is going to be different.
Yeah, I know the playoffs are different, but you know, let's go back to last year in the playoffs with the Blue Jays.
Yep.
They had a plan where you take out your starting pitcher at the second inning that could take him out.
Yeah,
and then they ran the bullpen the rest of the game.
I mean, how dumb can you be?
You know what? That trend was like my last straw. Because how are you going to come up with a situation where you have a pitcher, name him a starting pitcher, and he only pitches the first inning?
Well, let's go. That's dumb, and it's been a trend for a while. But let's go even deeper into that with a team like the Rays.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been a preeminent team in the regular season in terms of record. But what have they won? They've won nothing. And they're really the teams. I know Oakland started with Moneyball, but they're really the team that's carried this analytics thing to an extreme because they're in such a small market. Yeah, and they've had some great players, but they've won nothing. Nothing. And even the Dodgers, which have their general manager is the former president of the Rays, they're doing the same thing with just a much, much, much larger payroll.
Yep.
I mean,
they're playing in a much bigger market.
Series.
Yeah. Problem is, LA is playing in a much bigger market, obviously, and that's what's going to get them through is they're pandering to their market.
But they've won one World Series in, 36 years now?
Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was the COVID year. And I'm not going to try to take that away from the Dodgers. They won it.
Yes.
But they've won one World Series in 36 years.
I wouldn't mind taking it away from them, because look who they beat.
They beat the Rays. They beat the Rays. And they beat him in a neutral site.
Yeah.
That got me. They beat the Rays. They won the world. Nothing to take away from the Dodgers. They won the World Series, fair and square.
I'm not taking it away. It was lit fair and square.
They won it. They won it fair and square.
But winning the 60 games is a lot different than winning 162 games.
It is.
Yep.
It is. When you play 100,
everyone's a lot fresher if you're playing 62 games compared to 162.
And it's not a big of a war of attrition as we thought it would be.
No, it wasn't.
Not even close.
No. We saw a lot of the statistics change after we finally got back to 162 games.
Oh dear Lord. And a lot of the statistics that were there did not change for the better.
And look at how many teams are using openers now, which makes no sense.
That's the term I was looking for. Opener. You have a starting pitcher that's an opener, which means he's only going to get 3 outs.
Yeah.
3 to 6 anyway, yeah. Then you're just going to run your bullpen the rest of the way.
But here's the problem. What if your opener has a wonderful first inning, so you leave him out there for the second inning, and then he just starts to cruise?
They're going to take him out.
That's the problem.
It's like any starting pitcher.
Oh my God.
I mean, you look at what's going on primarily with pitching anyway. You don't see a lot of guys go 6 innings anyway, unless it's one of the big names.
We are 4.5 weeks in the season right now. There have been 2 complete games.
Tanner Houck was one of them.
That was a no-hitter from what's the guy's name from Houston?
Framber Valdez.
No, it wasn't Framber. It was
No.
Think of who it is.
It was.
It's on the tip of my tongue. And the other one was last Monday night with Max Fried for the Braves, who pitched a Maddox complete game and 92 pitches. Pitched to Maddox. But 2 complete games in nearly 5 weeks.
Right there, and I hate the lack of complete. I hate the lack of complete games.
Well, I hate the fact that there's always a plan going in. Well, what happens if that plan changes in the middle of the game? Like yesterday, I was watching a bunch of games yesterday, and they were like, "Well, we're not going to let him go through the third time through this lineup." Well,
Ronel Blanco was the pitcher from Houston.
Right, that's right.
And Jay, I got to correct you. You forgot Tanner Houck went complete game against Cleveland back on the 17th.
Okay, well, it's okay.
Okay, 3 complete games.
3, it's still.
But 5.5 weeks in. 5.5 weeks in, 3 complete games. 3. And I just hate the fact that there have only been 3 complete games and only 1 no-hitter so far.
I'm amazed they even left him in the game.
I am too. I'm very amazed that happened. Why don't the managers let their pitchers go? And
how are you going to learn to face any kind of adversity when there's the slightest bit of adversity, you're taken out of the game?
Right.
I mean, it could be 6-8-0, and your pitcher gives up 1 run, he's coming out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
When half these bullpens, you can't trust their bullpens.
Nope.
To double check everything, there have been 6 complete games this season. Jose Barrios, Ronel Blanco, Max Fried, Houck, Cole Raines, and Ranger Suarez have all gone CG.
Okay.
But still, 6 and 5 in 4.5 weeks is unreal.
It's stupid.
When it used to be a regular thing.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I mean, you would see guys with 19 and 20 win seasons, and 4 or 5 of those would be CGs.
We're never going to see 20. I doubt we're ever see a 20-game winner ever again.
And it's
I don't think other than the current players, we'll ever see anybody near a 200-game winner. Forget 300. 300 is no chance.
None. Not the way these managers are managing.
And you're going to six people staffs, and you're getting extra rest, and you're getting openers, and you wonder why there's so many injuries.
You lean on your bullpen. I mean, I understand you want to save your pitchers and keep them from injuries, but let them groove, okay?
Please.
Let them. I mean, 2 of my favorite pitchers of all time, and I've never been shy about it: Nolan Ryan and Steve Carlton.
Yeah.
Nolan Ryan and Steve Carlton. When I would find out that Nolan Ryan was pitching, I'm locked in because I want to see him throw all 9 innings. Greg Maddux, same thing. And Greg Maddux could throw a complete game on 82 pitches. I've seen him do it several times.
And I know they're totally different pitchers. I get that. But
yeah,
Nolan never got hurt.
Not in 27 years.
Even well in his 40s, he never got hurt.
And he was the only pitcher that was studied that did not have a flaw in his windup. Couldn't find a flaw in his windup.
It's like I heard this morning. People aren't pitching; they're just throwing, and they don't care where the ball goes. There's no pitching anymore. It's just throw it as hard as you can and hope somebody swings at it.
How many times have I said that? It's not pitching.
How many guys throw over 100 nowadays? It's ungodly. But they got nothing to back it up. They got nothing
if you
to
do
back
throw
it up.
100, if you throw it a foot outside the strike zone, what difference does it make?
Yeah, how many people know how to pitch?
Nobody.
How many people know how to pitch and they can throw 100? I mean, there's a relief pitcher, I cannot think of his name, who had a 102-mile-an-hour sinker. Yeah, and his arm fell off.
I think I know who you're talking about. The name escapes me, but yeah, he was talked about like last year.
He used to be with the Cardinals. He used to be with the Cardinals. Now I think he's with the Blue Jays. But he had a 102-mile-an-hour sinker. Couldn't do a thing with it. And then his arm fell flat.
Then
his arm fell flat.
Look at guys like Aroldis Chapman, who used to throw $105. Look what happened to his arm after that.
And how many times has he bounced around?
Too many.
Yeah.
He's been around the block the last couple of years.
Yeah, he has.
Oh, yeah. And
to think he has 2 World Series titles because of it. 2016 and last year.
Well, that was when he was a real pitcher. Now he's a greatly diminished pitcher compared to what he used.
Yeah, he is. He is. All right, we got a split. Jay Spivey joining us here on the program. Thank you very much, Jay. We'll talk to you next week.
All righty.
Appreciate you, Jay.
You're welcome.
I got to remember that we have a limit with him because we come up towards the end of the show and we're just getting going with our conversation. We got to go. Right. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope y'all are too. So long, everybody.
For the love of God, today, please no Tam. We don't need Victor yelling.